Today, we are going to look at the example where a person is standing in an elevator which is moving at a constant speed of 10 meters per second upwards. So there is a person inside the elevator, and that elevator is moving up with a velocity of 10 meters per second. So that means that person is also moving up with a velocity of 10 meters per second. Right? So so that person, what he is doing is he's dropping a coin from the height of 2.45 meters within the elevator. So since that person is moving with a velocity of 10 meters per second upwards, because the elevator is moving up and he is inside it, the coin that he was holding also should be moving up with a velocity of 10 meters per second. So this question is all about the motion of the coin. So we do not need any other information other than that of the coin. So the coin that he is dropping is already in motion with a velocity of 10 meters per second. After that, this has no influence by the motion of the elevator. So after that, it is just a free fall under gravity. So what is going to happen is that this object is going to fall until it touches the bottom floor of the elevator. So this question you are asked to find, you are asked to use G as 9.8. So we know that the initial velocity is that, and we should understand that the acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 meters per second squared, and it is pointing downwards. And the height, which from where it is dropped, is 2.45. So as this object is going up, and then it comes back to the same height and it is coming down. So the displacement is downwards and it is 2.45 meters, right? So we looked at 4 equations, right? So the first equation is Vf equals to Vi plus At. Second equation we have is Vf squared equals to Vi squared plus 2a delta x. The third one we have is delta x equals to Vit plus half At squared. And last but not least, we have this equation which we usually do not use in many questions, but it comes in handy in some questions, right? So we are going to use it from point A to point B, right? So from point A to point B, I have to relate the displacement. I have the initial velocity. I have the acceleration due to gravity. So the question is the time. So I need to have an equation which has time. So using the first equation is useless. It doesn't make much sense because we do not know the final velocity. This one also, we do not know the final velocity. I don't want to go through the headache of finding the final velocity. And the last one is also obvious. We do not know the final velocity, so no point of using that equation. So we end up with one equation. So it is usually the case in kinematics that we have 4 equations, and we can rule out the equations that doesn't match the parameters that we know and that we do not know that we have to find, and we will end up with one equation. So the equation that I'm going to use is delta x equals to Vit plus half At squared. I'm going to use it in the downwards direction. So as I always say, these equations, you can determine which direction you're going to use it as or consider it as positive or negative. So either you can consider everything pointing up is positive or everything pointing down is positive. In this case, I'm considering everything pointing down as positive. So the displacement of the particle is going to be 2.45, and it is plus because I'm using or I'm considering everything down as positive. The initial velocity. So I'm throwing this object up at point A. So that is going to be minus 10. I do not know the t, which is what I'm trying to figure it out, plus half. And the acceleration due to gravity is pointing down, which is 9.8. And we have t squared. So we can rearrange this entire equation. So I'm going to get 4.9 t squared minus 10t minus 2.45 equal to 0. So either you can plug in all the values in the calculator, or you can use the root function. So for simplicity, I'm going to use the calculator. Right. So I will do the manual calculation as well. But first of all, it is 4.9, the A value, minus 10, the B value, and it is minus 2.45, the C value. So I'm going to end up with having T as 2.26 seconds or T as minus 0.22 seconds. And we should understand that time cannot be a negative value. So the answer is this. So if we are going to solve it using pure mathematical way without any calculator, what we have to figure out is, or the theory behind that is, if we have a quadratic function, which is ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0, then the roots of this function is given by minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So you can plug in all the values because a is 4.9, b is minus 10, and c is minus 2.45. So your x values, or in this case your t values, will be minus of minus 10 plus or minus square root of minus 10 squared minus 4 a and c over 2a. Right, I'm not going to solve this, but know that there are methods that you can use, right? Thank you.